I still remember the sound of her sobbing. Not from the back seat, from the asphalt. An empty county road, no cars, no lights, just my daughter, 8 years old, nauseous, terrified, standing in the dirt while my parents drove away. They called it teaching her not to ruin the fun. I call it the moment I buried whatever scraps of loyalty I still had left for them. Before that day, I wasn't blind to who they were, but I was naive enough to hope. They'd never been gentle people, but I thought maybe grandchildren softened hard hearts. I was wrong. For years, I tolerated the small cruelties. My mother's sharp tongue, my father's silent approval. When they mocked me, I swallowed it. When they undermined me, I forgave. Because somewhere in my chest, I wanted my daughter to have grandparents. I wanted family to mean more than blood. But family, I learned, is just another word people use to excuse betrayal. The evidence. That day, when they pulled into my driveway without her, I already knew something was wrong. Her car seat was empty. My mother's lipstick perfect. My father's silence louder than ever. "Where is she?" I asked. "She was being dramatic," my mother said. "We left her a mile back. She'll toughen up." A mile back? On a road with no houses? No shoulders? No one? My chest went still. My hands didn't shake. I drove without speaking, headlights cutting the black, and found my daughter curled on the side of the road, her little backpack clutched to her chest like a shield. She ran into my arms and whispered, "They didn't want me anymore." That was the moment I decided. Not rage, not yelling, action. The plan. Revenge requires patience. Noise alerts the enemy. Silence disarms them. That night, while my daughter slept safe in her bed, I stayed awake. Not replaying the scene, not crying, planning. They loved their reputation more than anything. The respectable retirees, doting grandparents, pillars of their church. But reputations are fragile. One truth is enough to smash them. I gathered quietly. First, I pulled the dash cam from my own car where I'd recorded them admitting they left her. Then I retrieved text messages, casual cruelties my mother had sent me for years. Evidence of neglect, of disdain. I spoke to my siblings. They'd suffered in silence too. And when I pressed, they broke, confessing stories that matched mine, stories they'd hidden to keep the peace. Piece by piece, the foundation cracked. The moves. Step 1, the school. I met with the counselor, told the truth, showed the footage. Step 2, Child Protective Services. My parents' names entered a file they couldn't erase. Step 3, the church. An anonymous email with attachments. Every Sunday smile turned to whispers, then to avoidance. But the real strike came last. Their wills, their finances, the trust they bragged about. I hired a lawyer, quiet, efficient. I removed them as guardians in every document connected to my daughter. I made it clear, legally, they would never stand near her again. 2 hours of work, 2 phone calls, 3 signatures, and their empire of control began to crumble. The confrontation. When I finally faced them, I didn't raise my voice. I visited their house at dusk, my daughter safe at a friend's. My mother opened the door, smile thin. So dramatic, as always. I set a folder on the table. Inside, printed complaints, transcripts, photos. Her smile faltered. "You thought you abandoned her," I said, "but you abandoned yourselves." My father shifted, throat tight. "You can't." I already did. I told them about the calls, the church, the authorities. I watched the realization creep across their faces like a slow poison. They weren't untouchable anymore. For once, my mother had no words. The payoff. The fallout wasn't explosive. It was surgical. Neighbors stopped waving. Their church board suggested they step down. My siblings cut ties, emboldened now that someone had spoken first. They lived, of course, but their power died. Their audience vanished. And me? I didn't celebrate. I didn't gloat. I simply tucked my daughter into bed, brushed the hair from her face, and promised her she would never be left alone again. Reflection. Some people think revenge is about fire, about shouting, burning everything down. They're wrong. The sharpest revenge is quiet, precise. It leaves no room for retaliation. I didn't destroy my parents, I exposed them. And once the light hit them, they destroyed themselves. Now, when I drive that empty road, I glance at the shoulder where I found her, and I smile, because that was the last day they had any power over me. The day I stopped being their child and became my daughter's protector forever.